Good morning, everybody. Dr. Shook here. Hope you're doing well today. Thought I'd take a break this morning, come out here and get some sunlight and share another observation from today working with one of my clients. So I've been working with autoimmune patients for 18 years now. And I guess in total, including trying to help myself, it's been 21 years. So I've had a lot of experience of working with people that really dampened and put their autoimmunity into remission, and other people that didn't improve. And I've even had people that seem to get worse, and we don't know exactly what causes that. But in general, there have been some identifying factors and patterns that I've been able to identify. So first of all, most people that are autoimmune, they have triggers that need to be removed from their diet and their environment. They have problems with their barrier systems, their intestinal barrier, their blood-brain barrier, their lung barrier. All of these barrier systems are immune system barriers, and those are often compromised, letting things into the bloodstream that triggers systemic inflammation and can drive the inflammatory response. And the third thing is they tend to have problems with vitamin and mineral deficiencies. They may be exposed to chemicals and things that disrupt their immune system's normal function. So these are all things that we try to map out and then develop a plan around what they need as an individual. And so that typically involves dietary changes, lifestyle changes, and temporary nutritional supplementation. One of the things, though, even when implementing those strategies, that I've observed that can be a limiting factor is not moving or lack of exercise. Now, I always tell people, a lot of the people that I work with, for the first, if they absolutely have no tolerance to exercise, when they exercise even for a few minutes, they're exhausted and then they can't recover for, several days, then they have their threshold for recovery is too low. And usually I tell those people, wait longer, focus on these core things that we're trying to improve, and then let's see if we can build up your exercise tolerance. But I try to get them doing even small things, low amounts of movement, small, short durations of walking, if that's all they can do, or stationary bike. But a major limiting factor can be lack of movement and lack of exercise. And the reason that it is helpful in the recovery of autoimmunity is exercise stimulates your muscles to produce signaling molecules called myokines. Now, myokines have anti-inflammatory benefits. They have significant influence on the immune system. So just imagine if just by moving, and it doesn't have to be necessarily vigorous exercise, but just by moving and stimulating the muscle, you're actually releasing chemicals that can actually help with the immune response and with regulating the immune system. Now, the fascinating thing too is in addition to these myokines, which are released from the muscle, you get other signaling molecules from other tissues and organs, and these are called exerkines. And the exerkines are stimulated by the movement, but they're not from the muscle, they're from other tissues. And they too have some significant immune regulating effects. They also have significant effects on improving brain health. So for example, an exerkine that you may have heard of, if not, then you'll learn about it first here, is called BDNF, and that's brain-derived neurotrophic growth factor. And so BDNF is released with exercise, and it actually helps nerve cells to make new connections and to grow. So it is protective of the brain and of neurological tissues. But there are many other exerkines and myokines that are produced. Now, these signaling molecules also seem to help the gut. So, we talked about the barrier systems and how important the barriers are. If the barriers break down, it creates systemic inflammation. So, for example, the gut, the digestive tract, the intestinal barrier can be improved through exercise. Exercise can be a powerful modulator and influencer of gut health. So it has been shown in the scientific literature to improve the quantity and diversity of the gut microbiome, the bacteria in the gut. It has been shown to improve the production of postbiotics, so things like butyrate, which is a short-chain fatty acid. Now, short-chain fatty acids are they're postbiotics, so meaning after the bacteria. So bacteria in your gut, if present, that are the right type, they when they eat prebiotics, their food, they produce postbiotics, things that they make. And one of those is butyrate. And butyrate is absolutely amazing at improving the gut wall integrity and improving the immune response, immune regulatory response. So exercise can influence the quantity and diversity of the gut, improve the production of short-chain fatty acids like butyrate, and really help to improve GI tract integrity. So think about this. You also, with movement, what else occurs? You also increase your heart rate, and what does that do? That increases blood flow. And when you increase blood flow, you get better perfusion, so into the tissues, vitamins, minerals, amino acids, everything, hormones that the tissues need to repair and recover. And that's one of the things that we often see in people that are autoimmune, is that they don't have optimal recovery. So blood flow is critical for the recovery of tissues and for normal immune responses. So exercise does all these things and so many more. That's why I really encourage people, even if I get pushback on exercise, always being compassionate and trying to find the middle ground where they can start. We just try to find someplace. Where can you begin? What can we do consistently? And sometimes people have a hard time because they don't feel motivated. They've exercised and it feels awful. And that's where I try to say, look, let's just start where we can begin and making some progress, something that you can do consistently, even if it's just gentle walking, even if it's just, using, like I said, an upper body ergometer. You can buy it at your, anywhere really. These hand bikes, as they call them. Whatever you can do, work around your limitations and do a small dose, and start small and continuously try to progressively build, because it will help. It will make a difference. It can help with recovery. It's huge. It's absolutely an important piece of recovery. So it doesn't have to take hours. You can start where, like I said, wherever you can begin. Small steps first, but ideally you want to work up to, if you can, 20 minutes a day, and increase the intensity as tolerable. But it's an important part of recovery that I have over the years identified and realized is critical to autoimmune disease improvement and recovery. Now, have I seen people that have improved significantly without it? Absolutely. I've worked with people where the only thing that they do is follow a different diet. They utilize some supplementation, and then they follow some other lifestyle recommendations, optimizing sleep and some other things, in training circadian rhythms, like what I'm doing now. So anyway, if you have questions, please do ask them. If you need help, if you're struggling with this, I do work with people across the United States and in other countries via telemedicine to help them investigate the drivers and triggers of their autoimmunity. And we put together a plan, a dietary strategy, lifestyle strategy, temporary supplementation strategy, and we start working through the problems they have. And I do have access to a lot of laboratory testing to help us quantitatively assess some of the immune triggers, the status of the barrier systems and microbiome and nutrient status, and so on and so forth. There's a lot of options there to help with quantitative analysis, so you can more precisely target the problems that are driving the issues that you're having. But I wanted to share this tip because I think sometimes it is forgotten, because it's easy to miss this as a potent contributor to recovery. But if you have questions, ask them. I'm here to help if I can, and I hope you all have a wonderful day.